Women were thought to be morally, biologically, spiritually weaker than men. And that this would manifest itself both in the fact that their bodies couldn't be as strong as a man's body, but also there was a real link made to moral weakness. So this manifested itself in all sorts of ways. Women's bodies were actually thought to be deformed men. Aristotle's single sex theory suggested that women hadn't had enough heat in the process of conception to force their sexual organs outside their bodies. So they were imperfect men. And like all imperfect things, they would long after the perfect, which of course is the man. So there's that. Women are deformed men, and they are also, as a result of the belief in the four humours, humoral theory suggested that women were more moist and more cold than men, which translated to meaning that they were more irrational, more emotional, less able to reason things out. So this has all sorts of consequences. It was thought that women, by comparison to men, were colder and wetter. Men were hotter and drier, which meant, for example, that their hair burned off the top of their head. This is why men go bald. Or that their substance rose to their shoulders, whereas for us women it all sticks down at the hips. But above all, it had this connotation of thinking that women could not be trusted to make rational decisions. And also women were thought to be dangerously close to hysteria, if not regularly sated with sex. It was thought that the uterus would wander around the body, causing women to go mad, which is where the uterus and the word hysteria are closely related to each other. And women, generally speaking, were in a position to earn less money than men if they were trying to be employed. Their rates of pay were generally something like a third or a half of what men were earning. Women, once they got married, which ordinary women tended to do in their sort of 20s, tended to be pregnant every other year, breastfeeding in between, hoping that was going to help stave off the next one. And the chances of dying in childbirth were very high. The chances were even higher for the infants, of course. And so it was a pretty unrelenting life where both ideas about women and the realities of their lives were hard. And most of the time we just hear about the exceptions, the Elizabeth I, the Catherine de Medicis, the women who transcended the systems in order to have power. But actually, I'm interested in the lives of ordinary women, people, you know, like me, who would have lived in the past and who would have had a very different set of circumstances to confront.